Hello, Life Therapeutic followers. Thank you for tuning in to our first video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain a little bit of their activity, what you need for the activity, and then different ways to adapt it. So with that being said, our first activity is going to be a chalk obstacle course, or you can kind of call it a relay race as well. What you'll need for this is a piece of chalk and some sort of ball. So that could be a pillow, that could be crumpled up pieces of paper, it could be a soccer ball, a basketball, a tennis ball, whatever you can throw that you feel confident and will land in a bin. So those are your supplies. Then the next thing you need is your space. So you can do this anywhere where you can write with chalk. You can do this, or I guess if you're doing it inside on a wood floor, you can use clear tape and then write on the tape with markers. So you can do this in a driveway, a sidewalk, a hallway, your basement, your garage, really anywhere in your house, again, if you're using the tape. After you guys have found your space, then you're gonna need to figure out what you wanna do. So I'm gonna give you all the steps that I did in my race, but feel free to adapt these how you want to. So for my race, you start at the finish or the start line, and then I have 3 big circles that I drew. So those are called our jumping circles. So you start and then you do 3 jumps. And again, I'm gonna walk you through this. So I just drew 3 big circles. So you have to jump and land on each circle. After you land on the 3rd circle, I have written down spin 3 times. You're gonna spin around 3 times. After you spin 3 times, there's gonna be a bucket in front of you with a ball. You're gonna run up and get the ball out of the bucket and come back to where you spun. The next thing is throwing the ball into the bucket. You have to successfully throw the ball into the bucket and have it land in the bucket. Now this can be a little tricky. If it's a basketball, it might bounce out and you have to try numerous times, and that's okay. The whole point is to stay active and be doing something fun and be involved. So it's okay if it takes a little bit longer than we're thinking. After you toss it into the basket, then you're gonna run up to the next spot, and there is going to be the last obstacle, which is actually a puzzle that you're gonna solve. So what I put is I write down before I start a couple 5 or 6 letter words. So it's a word scramble. And then I put 5 or 6 blank spots on the ground, and then all the words that are needed to scramble or unscramble the first word. So for my first word, I chose the word soccer. So I put the dashes for soccer, 6 dashes, and then I scrambled the words below. So then the kids will solve the words, or the clients will solve the words, write it down, and run through the finish line. Once they cross the finish line after it's correctly solved, that's when the time ends. So a couple of different ways that you can do this. You can have 2 courses made. So I have 2 chalk lines made. You can have people compete against one another. You can just have 1 chalk line made, and that's okay. What you'll have to do is have the person start, and you start a timer and have them finish. Whoever gets the best time wins. Another way that you can also do this is instead of having people go from the start to the finish, you can have them actually do the race backwards. So from the finish to the start. You could also have them have to start from the start to the finish, from the finish to the start. So you can have them do it around 3 different times. And that way too, you're making the activity longer, you're having more interaction, and it's not like you're one and done. You also, since you'll have the list written out of the different words that you want to scramble, you'll have those on a little piece of paper. Then you can go through and add new words every single time. So it's a pretty simple activity. You don't need a ton of supplies. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk you through my obstacle course so you can kind of see what I wrote on the ground. Just 1 second. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to switch this, but it's okay. So if you can see, it says start, and then these are my 3 dots for jumping. Hoping you guys can see this. And then it says spin 3 times. So you're gonna spin right there. Then you're gonna run up and you're gonna get the soccer ball and come back to where it says spin 3 times. You're gonna throw the soccer ball into the bucket, and then we'll run up here, and then there's the word scramble. So you're gonna unscramble the words and you're gonna run through the finish line. So with that being said, that's kind of the simple explanation of what the activity is. Different ways that you can adapt it. If your child is in a chair, don't let this intimidate you. Obviously, they can roll. Someone can push them. They can spin in the chair. The only thing that you're going to want is you're going to want the word scramble written on a piece of paper so that you can hand it to them, as well as the ball. So there's obviously going to have to be some help. Or you could have them keep the ball with them the entire time. Maybe put it on their tray or tuck it under their arm so that they have it when they're ready to throw it. If you're doing this in a living facility, it could be a simple activity to do in the hallway. Have all the other contestants open their doors, stand by the door, and then do tape on the floor. You can obviously push them or they can push themselves and have them go to the end. And then they can maybe write their times on their doors and see who won first, second, third, and those types of things as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this quick activity. I look forward to sending you guys more videos. If you guys complete this, film it, take pictures, post it on our site. Let us know what you think. And thanks for all the support. Count me down to when you're going to start. That one's tricky.